What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first live stream edition and college edition of the JCP End Zone Perspective. I am your host, I am Cole, and I am joined by my two co hosts here. We got good old Chooch, and on my other side here, we got Jacob.
The legendary, obviously.
Super
Oh
legend.
God, yeah, legendary.
And as I mentioned, first time talking about college sports here. It is exciting. If you're not excited for college football, there is something wrong with you. You might want to go get checked.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we got some hot topics to talk about today. And we're going to kick it off with the first year coaches and the impact that they're going to have on their programs. Chooch, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna start us off with Matt Rule here. I think the additions of I gotta get my book, my fancy dancy book here. The additions of just all around, he's added a lot better players. I think it comes in with a renewed passion for college football after being in the NFL and seeing what it was like. I think players are gonna want to play for him now because of that, and I think it's the right fit for the right program. I think he's just passionate about the history of college football as Nebraska is. And anyone who knows college football knows that Nebraska was a great school,
Yeah,
great
Yes.
championship school at one point.
was.
So I think Nebraska's looking to get back to that, and yeah,
Yeah,
I
and I
just
agree with your
that one's just
point there
fun.
too. Like if you look at Nebraska as a whole, they've always been so loyal, selling out games even when they sucked. And now they have a coach that, like you said, loves the game as much as they do. And I'm telling you, I think that's the big change in Big Red Nation. And this team is going to be alive.
Yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys there. It's coaches really can change a whole aspect of a football team with NFL or college football. It changes the whole sort of feeling in the locker room with how they approach every aspect to the pigskin. So I'm excited to see what they do
Well,
in Nebraska, even though they still might lose.
and think about you just had to stick that
Yeah.
part in there. You just couldn't let him live. Um, no, but I agree. And in terms of coaches, just look at Brian Kelly a year ago coming to LSU and making them, an SEC contender and winning the SEC
yeah.
West. But that's just a example of the impact a coach can have. Look at USC and Lincoln Riley a year ago as well. Huge change for the Trojans. So I agree, though. Matt Rule with Nebraska, take a look out for this team.
Yeah. But for me, what I have, I was sort of assigned this job as I wasn't. This is but I'm going on Deion Sanders for this one. We kind of um we knew we know that what he can do as a coach. We've seen his 27-6 record at Jackson State, which is really impressive when you think about it. Like winning is a big accomplishment, but winning that much without with losing, below 10 games for how long was he there? Like two,
2 years.
yeah, 2ish years, and winning that many times with, I'm saying he has a really good record, and I'm excited to see. We already see his the transfers going to Colorado.
Number one class, by the way.
Yeah, number one class in
Yeah.
transfers. It's unbelievable when you scroll through there and you just see all these, like 3, 4, 5 star recruits all coming there, and it's excited to see how he can teach all these young guys how to be like how he once was in the NFL.
I
You know,
was just gonna say that too. Like in terms of if you're a high profile corner or safety and you're learning from the best corner to ever do it, like that is a
Yeah.
huge
yeah,
selling point.
because that's the biggest selling point of going there too. Was like you have people from every school wanting to go there.
Absolutely.
Every position player you can think of, like every position is going there. Every type of player that you can think of is going to Colorado to learn from one of the best to ever do it. Not
And
just
think
not
too,
just in his position either, just like the best,
It's a
one of
human.
the best to do it.
yes. And think too, his son, who is a phenomenal quarterback, by the way, if you got to watch him at all at Jackson State, like he comes into Colorado, he's probably the best Colorado quarterback they've had in about 10 years, give
Well,
or
what about
take.
the kid they had in 2016?
Yeah, that's about what, 9 years?
Dude, I keep on
7.
forgetting
Yeah,
2016
I'll
was
give it
so
to you.
long ago.
Right.
2020 put us in a time loop.
It
I
did.
swear they did. Because I think 2019 was like last year, but then it's like, oh, it was 4 years ago.
Also, I did want to address something in terms of the face camera, folks. I'm sorry, I don't have my face cam currently, but
He's poor.
I will
We get
here
it.
within the next few shows, so keep an eye out for that.
I don't.
What are you waving around?
This is my little Asian calendar thingy from the Chinese restaurant. Leave me alone.
I thought you were waving a Slim Jim around.
This is my pointer. No, I have a cinnamon roll down there. I'm gonna heat
I
up
said
later.
Slim Jim.
Or tomorrow. Oh no, it's yeah, no.
All right,
Ugh.
my
Alright.
first coach I'll bring up, I'm going to talk Hugh Freeze at Auburn because if you look at this guy's resume, you know, turned around an Ole Miss program and brought them immense success, beat teams like Alabama twice in a row, mind you. And then on top of that, you look at the scheme that he brought and the talent that he brought in, and yes, I know he got fired for, the recruiting
Yeah.
talks and things of that nature. But then they
All
stick
of
him
it.
at Liberty and they're like, "You're not going to do anything at Liberty." He kicked ass at Liberty. He got that team back on the map, and it almost started with the show that I used to do on Twitch with Chooch when we used to college football pick.
Yep.
Liberty Magic grew with our show, and he's the reason. So he is going to come to Auburn. He's going to change the culture, and he's going to bring in so much more talented guys. He's already done a great job in the portal and the recruiting class. Watch out for Auburn this year, guys.
Yeah, I like that. I think Auburn. I think Hugh Freeze, like you and me were saying yesterday about this conversation. For those of you who don't know, Cole and I have immensely long conversations about college football almost every day. So, and we were going on this tangent about coaches in the SEC and how we think Nick Saban, we don't think he's as aware, or if he is as aware, he's just not showing it that like his time is near. It's the new guys are here, and it's scary good how good, especially the SEC West,
Yes.
is this year coaching wise. Hugh Freeze, who, like Cole said, did a number on people at Liberty. This is going to be exciting, and he's going to bring a whole new attitude to this college. I think it's going to be a weird effect we're going to see.
And can you believe too, it's the effect that finally these top tier athletes are going to want to come to Auburn. And even like O linemen, they have not had a quality O line recruit in the last 3 to 4 years.
Mm-hmm. And it's showing. It's showing.
Truly is, folks. You heard it here first. Now, just realize that if they go 0-13, that's because of you guys, and that's you jinxing them. So it'll be all your fault. And
If Auburn goes
you get
0-13,
blamed.
there's way more wrong than just a head coach.
Mm.
My second one. This one's easy. Luke Fickell.
Yes.
Man should have had the Ohio State job in the first place. Look what he did at Cincinnati. He has Tanner Mordecai in this Wisconsin team with C.J. Williams, by the way, and Braylon Edwards.
Raylan
Either way,
Edwards.
yeah, the running back. Anyways, yeah, this is easy. If Wisconsin does not win the Big Ten this year, it's a bust.
You cannot go wrong with a guy with the last name Fickle. You really can't. Name
Listen,
a
man.
guy with the last name Fickle that has brought disappointment in your life.
Yes.
I see you thinking, Chi. I can see you thinking.
Well, and you know
Big
what
ol'
else
white
too
forehead.
that just excites me about Wisconsin? I've said this a lot of times. For many years, it's always been they don't have a quarterback and they have a good coach, or they don't have a coach but they have a really good quarterback. This is the first time in God knows how long that they have both of them. And Luke Fickle, with this type of talent, remember, folks, he brought Cincinnati to a national title scene, a Final Four game. And yeah, they got curb stomped by Alabama, but the point being is he got them there, and they had severely less talent than he does now.
Exactly.
Well, my last coach that I'm going to bring up here is Brom from Louisville. This guy is one of my favorite coaches. You know, I followed him back at Purdue, and he always had the team fighting. He always had them believing, even if they weren't the most talented team. He brought an energy that could not be matched and did the most with what he had. And now you give him Louisville, which, by the way, if you look, they have the easiest schedule out of anybody this year.
Oh yeah.
And he walks into a pretty okay situation as well.
Even though we stomped Purdue from Michigan State, from Michigan perspective, I should cut
So
my
did we
tongue
from
out just for
LSU.
saying. I should cut my tongue off just for saying Michigan State. I can't
Wait,
believe
no,
myself.
didn't. No, wait. Wasn't the Purdue game close last year?
No. No. All right. I have to check this. It was not close.
I'm
Typical
pretty
Jacob.
sure it was close last year.
But not during the LSU bowl game. It was 63-7 on the dot.
It was not close. It was 43-22.
You know why it was 43-22?
Because we're the best.
No, because you scored like a touchdown in like the last 10 seconds.
No.
Hey, what was that TCU score, by the way? Oh, wait.
Hey, all right. LSU, pretty trash as well.
I mean, we won our last football game.
Can't say the same about Michigan.
I hope JJ McCarthy stomps on LSU's quarterback.
I mean, that's not that hard. I could teach myself to throw right-handed right now and probably throw a football farther than he could.
All right, but moving on, and I want your guys' take to this. In terms of the transfer portal and players that, it's such a random thing anymore. You don't know, who's going here, who's going there, what are the external factors, why do people change? Who do you guys think changes the most out of going to a new team and makes the biggest impact? And then you could also mention like classes if you want to, if you didn't want to mention a player. But I just want to talk about the portal here because I just think there's such an interesting aura that it has changed college football.
Chooch, go first.
All right.
I see you hesitating. Chinese.
So
stick.
I'm gonna start off with Isaac Uku here from James Madison University, transferring to Ole Miss. Remember how we always say that Lane Kiffin, if he had a defense, he'd be scary.
Yes, all the time.
He started that movement.
Mm-hmm.
He added a bunch of defense in this year through the portal, and they're good guys. They're athletic dudes. They're quick. They're ballers, man. They're the type of guys we like, right?
Absolutely.
Let
Just
me show you.
freak.
Let me tell you this guy's. Let me tell you something from last year. 7.5 sacks he averaged in the Sun Belt.
Wow.
That is insane.
Exactly. I
Is he Dexter Lawrence though?
mean, technically it would be Simonez, but yeah, sure. Do you want me to just keep going, or do you want to just?
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
if
on
you
a
got
rant.
more, keep going down the list.
I got Sam Hartman. You know it.
Show us your bag, Chooch.
What?
Show us all the tricks in your bag. Just keep on going.
Sam Hartman, Wake Forest, Notre Dame. I don't think I need to say anything else about that.
Yeah, real quick, I do want to comment on that though. Sam Hartman, to think about him being the heart and soul of Wake Forest and keeping just tremendous numbers. Go back, look at the stat sheets, and now you add that onto Notre Dame with a coach who really wants to make an impact. They have a legitimate shot to beat Ohio State this year because Sam Hartman, and maybe even hang around with USC in that game later on, just because of the fact they have a quarterback now. Like it's scary.
And one that can duel too.
Yes.
Well, they have a big chance of
Um,
winning against Ohio State because they suck. It's
I mean, they're
it's
probably
fair and
gonna beat you
simple.
guys if they ever
They
play you
will
guys.
not beat.
So
They will not beat us.
you guys have nothing for that defense.
That's why that. All right. All right. You know that's why I got two
That
defensive guys that
that
transferred to Michigan.
defense
That's why I
that
got
defense
what.
gave that
No, keep it going, keep going, because I even have an
defense
article. Come
gave
on,
gave CJ Stroud Ohio State's off the CJ Stroud led Ohio State offense fits.
And
the
I think that
So
CJ Stroud guy went number 2 in the draft, if I remember
yeah,
correctly.
my point exactly.
anyway. While you nerds are keep talking,
And
my
then
keep going.
Hannah
Well, yeah,
Mordecai.
I was gonna say, I think she's got one more.
Hannah Mordecai. A quarterback at Whiskey. Like I said earlier. Just get used to it. It's the theme.
We should just change this like title to the Praise Wisconsin stream because
That's all Chooch
that's what
does.
we're doing.
Just wear a Wisconsin jersey.
No.
Why even bother?
Boys all day. You know, maybe I'll get one now.
You should.
Tanner
Oh,
Mordecai,
whoops.
baby.
I just gave him the bird, my bad.
Getting us demonetized before I even post a channel on before we post a video on YouTube. Anyway, you were talking crap about our defense, which is why I chose two of the biggest defensive transfers for Michigan, Josiah Stewart and Ernest Hausman. And I didn't find this out before, but I looked them up, and they were actually, both of them, two of them, are quoted in an article by SB Nation saying, Daily Brews, Josiah Stewart and Ernest Hausman among Big Ten's likeliest impactful transfers in 2023.
Ooh.
And Ernest Hausman is probably my favorite out of the two. Just the way how he can read a defense and how he can. Me and Cole talked about this, how with plays with players like Lamar Jackson, how even cameraman can't even find where the ball is in the field. Ernest Hausman has so many highlights where they'll do in high school where they'll do a play like that and he'll automatically know where the ball is. It's like playing Madden on easy mode and arcade mode. It's so fun to see.
I love his play recognition. I do agree with you. I mean, he sees it and it's like you said, it's like Madden on easy mode. He's got like that overhead shot where he's watching the ball the whole time and it's just ridiculous.
Right. It's complete the opposite of my character in Madden 08, where my guy just gets pancaked every single time.
Yep, it's glorious to watch.
Oh, it's phenomenal. All right.
Yeah.
So I got 3 players myself, and I'll start off with one who I believe will be the most impactful. Omar Spates, coming from Oregon State to LSU. this guy is special. He can play on the run. You hand the ball off, he lays the boom. If you're throwing the ball, he can play that spy to watch your quarterback, and he can play coverage. He's got elite close-in speed. He's got pursuit like I have not seen in a while. And I'm talking like look back Patrick Willis even days, back in 2010 at Ole Miss. Like this guy, if you don't hear his name like 4 times within the first 4 weeks in terms of like watch lists, I will be severely surprised. He is
Mhm.
that good.
Yeah, no, he's gifted.
Truly. I
And
haven't watched
it's
most of him, but I have seen some highlights from him.
absolutely, yeah. It's like that God-given talent that you just cannot teach. And then you think about like the raw attributes of him, and then you think, what Brian Kelly and what Matt House have taught him, and it's like, oh my goodness, this guy might be the first defensive player to win Heisman. It's that good.
That's a bit of a stretch. That'd be insane.
Oh, it would.
No
All
defensive
right,
player ever won a Heisman.
yeah, I mean, it's been quite a while.
If you could choose a defensive player from the amount of time you've been watching college football, your years of watching college football exclusively, what defensive player would you give? Only one.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
You too,
Um,
Chooch.
What was it? If I could pick one defensive player I've
to
watched
give the
growing up,
Heisman.
who would I
Or
depict a Heisman?
watch any time in your life watching college football. So that's
I'm
so
gonna go.
for Chooch that ranges from
Uh,
like
Tyrann Mathieu.
1930 to like today.
Tyrann
So
Mathieu.
Tyrann Mathieu. Okay.
that's an amazing pick. I'm gonna go Patrick Peterson with the
That's
Corn
another
Snakes
really good pick. I like that.
For me, it'd
because,
probably. Oh, you go ahead.
like, if you've seen the way he plays, it was just crazy, man. It's like he had every moment mapped out, and then he also gets screwed on some calls against some team in red and white. But hey, we won't talk about that.
Dominican Sue.
Uh,
That's a good.
for me, I'm a little biased, but Aiden Hutchinson. Shut
I can
up.
dig that.
I hear Chooch's thoughts in my head right now.
Oh, what a Sooner.
Man, I've only been watching
I
it
mean,
for
what a
less than a year.
homer.
I've been watching it for less than a year. Calm down.
I know. I'm just busting your balls.
You always are.
All right, my next guy, I'm gonna go Eric All. He's a tight end transfer. He started at Michigan. Thought, I don't need to stick with Michigan. I'll go to where they know how to develop tight ends. I'm going to Iowa,
Oh, we got him. We got him.
and I just really like what he brings to the table. He can block, he can catch, he's quick. Um, what is there to hate, honestly? And that's the three things that the base three things you want to see in a tight end. But when you get a guy who can do all of it at a place like Iowa, to where they literally have made majority of the current NFL tight ends, I mean, this guy's going to be special.
Truly.
Adding to the tight end university legacy.
Tight end
Yes,
University. That should be a thing.
It is a thing. I mean,
they
Travis
call it
Kelsey has
Iowa.
a thing.
We need a
Travis
tight
Kelsey
end.
has a class called Tight End U.
Of course he does.
And then last but not least, I'm going to go with Travis Hunter, the 5-star commit that, again, Deion Sanders effect. He gets a 5-star to commit to Jackson State, and then ultimately transfers to Colorado because he wants to be with Deion.
You mean
And
Coach Prime?
yes, Coach Prime. He can fly. He's got some really great raw attributes, but now you pair him with Coach Prime, and it's like, oh man, he might be one of these guys that you come back to in a few years, and you're like #1 pick in the draft potentially.
Those are some big words. Some big
I'm
words.
high on him.
I can tell.
He's really good. He's really good.
I'm trying to think if there are any more players I'm kind of excited for. There was the player that you just talked about, the 5-star recruit.
Travis Hunter,
Yep.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm bad with names. I'm excited about him, how he can affect, and I've said this before, how I like coaches that used to be players, and I like to see how they're for freaking
The ability to connect.
Yeah, the ability to connect as like the Why am I not saying words right now?
Because English is hard.
You hit a brain block.
For me, yes.
Mhm.
As like a cornerback player and having your coach being one of the best cornerbacks of all time.
Yes.
Makes you work a little harder.
Yeah.
Makes you pay attention a little more.
Well, and
you better
remember
take
too,
notes.
guys, the second half of my original question, I also, if you have a class that you want to talk about too, that is going to be just impactful all around, awesome, you could also do that too.
Yeah, I like Ole Miss and Whiskies. I think both classes added what they needed. Like I said earlier, Tanner Mordecai, CJ Williams. I think that it was very needed, additives to a very lackluster offense last year. And then obviously Lane Kiffin added, like I said earlier, added defense where it's needed. He brought in talent. So
Hugely needed.
it's gonna be fun.
I think I've talked about everyone that I wanted to talk about for this segment. All the players
Okay.
and all the classes.
My class that I'm going to talk about is Kentucky, just because if you look at the guys that they get to adding to this team, I mean, how do you go from Will Levis and you're just like, oh man, we're kind of screwed at the QB position. What do we do? You bring in Devin Leary. You literally made a pretty lateral move in terms of quarterback play. And I know, this might get some hate. I really don't care, but Devin Leary might even be better than Will Levis. It would not shock me.
You'd think so.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the rest of the class is pretty good too, but Devin Leary's definitely the headliner. He's just an incredible player.
Yeah, they brought in that Ray Davis guy from Vanderbilt who had 1,026 yards and he had 16 touchdowns or whatever. He had a good year last year.
Yeah, I mean that just shows, and just bravo to Mark Stoops, because you're given the situation when he came in of a team that has not done anything in Kentucky, and then year after year after year, quality player, quality victory, and now you're talking about a Kentucky team that used to be 3-9 all the time, or 5-7, missing out on bowls. Now they go 6-6 on a bad year, and maybe even like 9-3 is the ceiling, which is a huge change.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of the Bengals, the year they went to the Super Bowl. How they were able to change a record so fast.
Absolutely.
They went like from Joe Burrow was their quarterback, so like
really
three wins, and then they went to the Super Bowl and lost because he's Joe Burrow. But
if you guys couldn't tell, the dynamic is pretty set. He's got to take.
I feel very stranded
jabs
out here as a Michigan fan in this friend group.
I mean, I don't know why anyone else would willingly be a Michigan fan.
It's nothing but torture.
I would be a Michigan fan if I was from another state.
You're just a second-rate Ohio State.
True.
That is the biggest. That is the biggest diss you will ever tell me in my entire
Uh-huh.
life. You could say you could say the most horrendous thing to me. That'll be the
Second
top.
rate OH 310 State.
Hey, we're
I
still
love
better.
it.
And then when we beat him this year, that TikTok account for U of M
Didn't
is gonna make
don't you still owe them
funniest
like
videos.
18 straight more losses?
We're gonna catch up. We're gonna win 30. We're gonna win for 30 years.
30 years. Well, I mean, you got 2 in a row, maybe.
Yeah,
If
All
you
right.
said they got 15, I'd still laugh.
2 and then 28 more years. So
So, guys, obviously, the big thing is college football is right on the horizon. Let's jump right into it here. What are some games that you guys are looking forward to?
I got one. I got a week 1. It's Matt Rule's first game in Minnesota. I think that's a tougher game than people think. I think there's going to be a lot of attention on this game because of Matt Rule being his first game back in Nebraska and in college. And if anyone remembers correctly, he was killing it at Baylor beforehand.
Yes.
So,
And
Take your
also,
poison.
to
But
add
that's going to
to
be a
that
good one.
Minnesota team, they're going to attack too. They're going to punch you in the mouth with their run game, and it's just going to be an old-fashioned Big Ten brawl. I'm so excited for that, dude.
And if the weather's been anything like it is, we don't know if we're going to get a 50-degree night or 70-degree football game or a 90-degree day game. We don't know.
the grass is gonna melt into tar.
Imagine.
The game I'm most excited for. I have 2 kind of personal ones, and then just one that I see a lot of people excited for 2 different reasons. I have obviously the rivalry games for Michigan. The one we're both gonna win, both of them. So Michigan versus Ohio State, and then Michigan versus Michigan State. But that's kind of obvious. We love the rivalry games.
Oh, of course.
And then the one I'm looking forward to, I don't know their opponent, but I'm excited for whoever Colorado faces in the first week. Utah. Because it has a lot of part to do with Coach Prime being there, right? But it's also the fact that there's so many amazing players transferred to there. Like how we've been saying for a lot of the time. There's so many great players that are there. Even if there wasn't, Coach Prime there, what are you doing?
Don't focus on me. Keep your speech going.
Just rolling up a list, waiting to smack me in the head over it. Anyway,
Come on, keep going. You got it.
if it was any coach, people would be excited for that game to see
Right.
what the score could be, because it's not like one-sided with how many transfers are going there. You get a healthy mix of both offensive players and defensive players, great wide receivers and great cornerbacks, and I'm really excited to see who even starts, because with how many players are in the same position, it'd be kind of a battle to see who starts too.
So that's the fun too.
I think what's exciting about that is to see the growth of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The growth of the team, and that's like the big game there. That's like, hey, you're facing the conference champion.
Yeah. You think
Like-
how disappointed will people be if they lose? By
I don't like I think there's expectations, but I don't think they're as high as people think there is. Dion, people know Dion literally just turned a whole football program over in like what, 6 months?
yeah.
Yeah, this isn't ready yet. Listen, if they win 5 games this year, it's a good year. That's just my opinion on it. It's nothing against Dion. It's just the level of competition is way more different here. I mean, he can beat those FCS schools that he faces, no big deal. Those are 2 wins, but it's everyone else you got to play. Can you beat Arizona your first time playing them? Can you beat Arizona State? Can you beat Cal, Stanford, Oregon State, UCLA, USC, Utah?
What are you guys' record prediction for the Colorado right now? As it
I'll
stands
tell
right
you.
now, since as of August 3rd, 2023, with how many transfers are there? What record do you see?
5-7.
5-7. What about you, Cole?
If I had to say, I think the floor is like 3-9, and the ceiling is 7-5. So I'm gonna go a little bit in the middle too. Kind of what you just. I think 5-7. They just miss bowl eligibility because when they come in, you got so many new guys, like you mentioned, with the transfers, and that's gonna take a minute to gel. But once they start gelling, look out for this Colorado team. They're going to
Yeah.
be very good.
I have them going to the championship. No, Michigan all day. But I have them going maybe like 6 wins. Five, like yeah, around what you said, 5-6 wins.
It'd
What
be
you got,
really cool
Cole?
if they went bowling.
What
Oh,
you got
so
for me?
so my games that I'm going to talk about, we'll start off with a week one just killer matchup. We got LSU in Florida State, and the reason for this game, I firmly believe that LSU is going to win the SEC, and I believe Florida State's going to win the ACC. These two teams, ultra talented. They both have experienced quarterbacks. Both coaches are extremely good. Both defenses are incredible. Like, if there is a weak thing in this game, I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys can help me find it. I literally don't know. Um, so this game is going to be an explosion on September 3rd.
Yeah, and revenge game too for LSU going into Orlando,
Yes.
Camping World Stadium.
Can we talk about that?
Um,
Can we talk about the talk about
Talk
the
about
loss? You know,
Mo was that
just to
we
get your
played
blood
like
boiled up.
complete. What, the
Block
fact that we played
PhD.
like garbage for the first half of the football game, and the second half decided it was time to play football, and then decided that the end of the game did, lo and behold, give us mere flashbacks of Georgia.
Well, talking about that game too, like honestly, I don't think there is anything to be ashamed of. I mean, it was one block kick for how bad we played the whole game. Like I would take that outcome, not this time around, but back then. Yeah, for a first game, not too bad.
You really did not back then, though. You really did not take that
Oh,
back
I did. It was a whole year.
then. uh,
My next game I want to talk about is Georgia and Ole Miss.
Mm,
This game excites me
yeah.
for one particular reason. Think about this, folks. Lane Kiffin, nobody's given him a chance in this game. If you look at the line already, the line's 17.5 favoring Georgia. And I get it, it's in Athens, so I mean, rightfully deserved. They're the back-to-back champs, don't get me wrong. But if you count out Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, he's got something for you. He's going to have this team ready. They're going to attack. This is going to be a lot of closer game than people think, and maybe even an Ole Miss upset. But I'm not ready to go that far yet.
Ole Miss
Yeah,
upset. I want to see that.
yeah. I mean, it's possible. It's completely possible. Texas A&M, Bama.
Yes.
You're gonna notice a trend here, folks. I'm gonna have a few games against Bama. I think this is a big test for Jimbo. Jimbo can't win this game with Bobby, then why even have Jimbo?
I was wondering the same thing, honestly. This is going to be either the greatest move in Texas A&M history or the worst move, having Jimbo and Bobby together.
Probably the worst.
I mean, it could
Just to
be.
make you guys mad.
I mean, it doesn't make me mad, but I also love the dynamic because you got two guys who are extremely, some would say, egotistical, and I think that would be a fair thing to say. But Jimbo is like college football 101. He knows everything there is to know. And then you also got Petrino, who knows a lot, has a horrible past, and does this change him as a coach? And does he realize this is probably my last go if I don't get my shit together?
Yeah, that is one. That's another big point too. I mean, who knows? We'll see. A&M could be terrible this year, or they could be A&M at 8-4. And then another one for you I got is Hugh Freeze's first game against Bama, and you and I both know the record for Hugh Freeze
Yes.
against Nick Saban. It's good. And
Very good.
I think Nick Saban, I think Bama fans are going to realize how not great the coach is once that division levels out coaching wise.
Do you think Bama is overrated or they're fairly rated? Yeah? Okay.
Extremely overrated.
All right.
So I'm going to say this for Alabama. Depending on which Alabama we see this year, that'll answer my question. Because if we see the old school Alabama, and I'm talking, Greg McElroy, AJ McCarron type Alabama, Chooch will remember, obviously you won't, Jacob,
Yeah.
but physical run, side to side passing, occasionally throw a slant route. If that is the Alabama we see, they're going to be way better than people think. If we see this shotgun based, relying on Jalen Milroe or Tyler Buchanan to throw, that they're going to be not very good.
Very overrated.
My next game I'm going to bring up is USC and Notre Dame, week 7.
Ooh.
This is a game that goes back to my grandparents. Like, they used to watch this game and go crazy about it. And the rivalry has never lost its intensity. Now the scene is a little different. You have Lincoln Riley at USC, which nobody thought this was possible. You got Caleb Williams and Sam Hartman, two of the best quarterbacks in college football today, teeing off. And it's really going to come down to which defense makes that one play that wins the game. This is going to be an exciting flashback to that rivalry when it was, up in the air every year.
Yeah. Yeah, no, agreed. I think it was starting to get there last year. I think these guys put on a hell of a show last year, and hopefully it continues because I like we like the blue blood rivalry. Blue blood rivalries
Tongue twister.
to be good games. So yeah. I got one more.
Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead, Pizza.
I actually, it's just the first game that Michigan plays because I miss Blake Corum. I miss him. I miss seeing him run. That's it. There doesn't need to be any other reason besides Blake Corum.
Just Blake
I got one
Corum,
more.
that's it. Go for it.
It's LSU at Bama. Can Brian Kelly keep the magic going in T-Town? This is your test.
Bama's gonna
Yes.
win. It's LSU. It's like the trash, the worst college in America. Come on.
When was your last national? Oh,
Gosh, way back
I
when.
didn't have Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Queen, and
we didn't
Sounds
have them
like
before that
the
too. Before we had a
best.
national championship before that too. So
we don't need one to be great.
we do.
We don't need one to be good.
2019, 2007, 2003, all within the 2000s.
We don't need one to be good.
Please.
We're great. We're amazing.
All right, but my last game I'm going to talk about is an ACC battle. Florida State, Clemson, Week 4 in the fake Death Valley. That's right, Clemson gets owned. This game is going to define if Mike Norvell really has that it factor to win the ACC. If they win this game, there's no doubt they will take the ACC. Clemson's still the king of the ACC currently. If they can continue that reign of dominance that they've had over the ACC, then obviously they'll take it. They'll win this game. But if Florida State wins it, take a look out for the Noles. They might even make the Final Four. It's possible.
Michigan will knock them out. We all know that. You look so puzzled at everything I say, Chooch.
No, I'm just listening. It's just me listening. That's all.
I
just
can say
this
anything.
when I do this. This is me playing with my beard, listening. That's all it is. I'm staring up.
I could
staring.
say anything.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
You'd be like 4 + 4 = 8, and you're like, who is this guy?
Who is this?
Why is he talking?
All right, and then my last question for now. What are your hot takes heading into this college football season?
Ole Miss beats Bama. I covered that for you. There you go. Yeah,
Like
I
it.
answered your question. Tulane finishes in top 15. I like what they got going on down there. I think there's a lot of potential. I think Tulane's on the come up.
Completely agree.
Wisconsin's Big Ten champions, and Drake May is a Heisman finalist.
I agree with all of those except for one. Wait, no, you said finalist. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I agree with all of them. I thought you said Heisman, and I was like, no, I don't know about that. But finalist, yes, he'll definitely be one of those four.
Mine is Michigan will go all the way and win the championship, but and then Ohio State will go 0-13.
All right, somebody clip that on like a YouTube short, and we'll come back to this because that's not
When it
gonna
actually
happen.
happens, it'll be the greatest thing that ever happened in my career. When it actually happens, I will be praised for every single thing I do for the rest of my life. Can you imagine
All
if
right,
they actually go 0-13? I can't.
Let's just say Ryan Day would be fired.
Oh yeah,
He might be dead.
You know those fans are not going to let that go either.
True. All right, my hot takes are this is a make or break year for Arkansas. If they don't, come with that passion the way that they did in 2020, let's just say I think Sam Pittman might be gone. In my opinion, the biggest thing is he's got to get that offensive line to be dominant again, like they were in 2020. If he doesn't start in the trenches, he's screwed, and Arkansas is going to need a new head coach. My next one is Washington wins the Pac-12. I just think they have so much talent. They have a really good quarterback, and not to mention they're not in the best conference-wise, so I think that's pretty much a given. And then my last hot take is Florida will be the worst team in the SEC. Let me put it simple.
The worst.
You have no quarterback. None. Graham Mertz sucks.
All right.
So that's it. I mean, I love Sunbelt Billy. Don't get me wrong. Billy Napier is a great coach. He could, turn it around in Gainesville if he gets time. But if he doesn't, it's going to be a rough time for the Florida Gators.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think a run heavy offense is going to work in the SEC this year.
Agreed.
And I don't think Mertz has the ability to throw side to side as quickly as some Billy is going to need him to.
Oh, I do have the surprise question that I asked you guys before, but I want to ask it on the live stream.
Let's hear it.
Are you guys ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay. What it's the same as last time. Who do you guys think will go around number 1, 2, or 3 in the draft for the NFL next year?
Who's a top pick?
Yeah, who's like a top pick for sure?
Caleb
Yes.
Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is #1 without a doubt.
Caleb Williams. Okay, you heard it here first. Imagine he goes not drafted. He will ruin his career.
That'd be something.
Oh, then he got the announcer's curse. We're sorry, buddy.
He just ends up like getting the worst injury you could ever imagine.
And
Gets
Just
undrafted,
because-
finds his way back, becomes the best quarterback to ever play the game of football.
I just thought of another
Move.
question. It might have the same answer, but they're completely different questions. If the NCAA game comes out, if it ever does, it might be delayed until 2035.
Maybe.
Who do you want on the cover?
Ooh. Oh,
That's hard, isn't it? Yeah.
that's tough.
You can see the amount of concentration on Chooch's face.
Mm.
Look at them dead old eyes.
I think it should be all the last Heisman winners.
All the last.
That would be amazing.
I think it should be a collage of all the last Heisman winners.
That'd be cool.
Personally, that's what the cover should be.
I think.
I
It
I mean,
should
I'll go make it on Photoshop and send it to EA and say, "Here's your cover."
Yeah. Thank you. I'll be taking my loyalty checks here.
NCAA 2014, NCAA 24.
Mm-hmm. It'll be 27.
We
when
back.
it comes out.
Way back.
Mine.
So,
would
I-
probably be
JJ
Corum.
McCarthy, right?
Blake Corum.
Oh,
Yeah. Or it could just be the Michigan logo. That'd be great too. Represent the best school in college.
Can you
football.
say Homer?
Can you say what?
Homer.
No, I'm not gonna say anything that you say. I'm not gonna say anything that you tell me to say.
If I had to pick, I would probably go with Chooch's idea, with all the Heismans. If not, and I had to go one player, I'd probably go with maybe Marvin Harrison if we got to choose a current.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Him or Quinn Ewers.
Can you imagine they go really basic and choose a guy from Bama or Georgia?
I mean, probably.
Nah.
Nah.
They're gonna go someone with name.
All right, that's
With
how
Arch
name.
you,
Manning.
that's how you want it to be. Who do you think it'll realistically be? Think about it. All right, it's
I don't
EA.
know.
It's EA.
It's EA. We don't know.
It could
EA
be-
kind of takes their football covers seriously for some reason. We won't know until it's time.
Realistically, if I had to venture a guess, I would probably say Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah, Caleb or Drake,
trash.
Oh,
over
yeah?
Caleb Williams.
or like whoever wins, or like a picture of the national champions. But I
That
still
would
think
be
it
an
should be all the Heisman since 2014,
Yes.
2015.
It'd be cool.
Because realistically, it should be the Heisman that gets the cover.
Agreed.
That would be cool.
You get a trophy and you get to be on the cover of the video game.
And then there's the NCAA curse, like how's there the Madden curse?
Mm-mm.
That's a thing. That's a curse. Come on.
I don't think the NCAA curse was because
But they'll bring it back. It's new EA. It's modern EA. Think about that.
the Madden curse doesn't work. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady broke that shit.
Yeah. They'll bring something back. EA will purposely break the cover's ankles, the cover athlete's ankles. Just some executives will come there, and it's like that one Stephen King movie.
Listen, kid, you signed the contract. I gotta take care of you.
If you sign this contract, I get to put a board on your ankles. Get a sledgehammer.
Hey, why don't you put your foot in that hole there? Why am I put my foot in the hole? Put your foot in the hole.
It's funny how
Put
Chooch
your
didn't
foot
even
in the-
change his accent. That's exactly how he sounds.
Right?
Listen, man, you You sign this contract, you'll make $3 a day.
Hey, you sign this contract. We ain't gotta break your foot, okay? So just have at it.
We'll break one of them, and then we'll break your pinky too.
We'll give you a turf toe. We'll give you a turf toe, kid. That's all you're gonna get.
We'll
Just
break
like
your
a turf toe,
ACL
3
three
weeks.
times
All we
before
need.
you get in the NFL, and we'll see.
3
how you
weeks.
do. We're just
All
testing
right,
your
well,
strength.
folks, thank you so much for riding with us. This has been a blast. I just checked
Indeed.
55 minutes.
Mhm.
Man, this is time has flown. So,
Yeah.
like I said, this was the first edition of the college football version. Of course, if you check our YouTube, we already got the NFL preseason outlook, and we'll be, posting a lot more, in terms of interesting news, highlights, different things, and especially during the year. So definitely keep in touch with this channel. Thank you all for watching. God bless.
Peace.